begin, my speech is going to be on one of the Toastmasters educational programs, part of the Successful Club series. And it is a series of presentations that help us as members create a good club environment where we learn and grow as individual members and as a club. So the presentation is about meeting roles and responsibilities. And by the time I'm done, you should have a better understanding or a better idea on what every role that you experience during the meeting is supposed to do. That's my objective, and that's what I'll be evaluated on. Okay, Mr. Timer.
I'm all set.
Okay. Thank you all for being here today. Have you ever been to a meeting and you experienced something that looked really strange? For example, you saw people do things and you ask yourself, why is it doing that? What is the purpose of that? What is the essence of what he or she is doing? Every single weekend we come here and we attend the meeting. We participate in the meeting. But today what I want us to do, I want us to look at every single rule that is listed both on your agenda and in your mind. Because even if the rule is not listed on the agenda, you know what the role is based on your experience. Now here are the meeting functionary roles. We have the Toastmaster, the Table Topics Master, the Speakers, General Evaluator, Speech Evaluators, Timer, Grammarian, and Accountant. Those are the roles that we do have. 8 different roles. I will go through each and every one of those and explain. And as I explain, I will give examples of what to do in able to perform the role to the best of your abilities when you do have the opportunity to perform that role. Let me start with the Toastmaster. The Toastmaster for this meeting, for example, is Vanessa. Is Vanessa doing a good job as a Toastmaster? Yes. Now, if next week you are the Toastmaster, what are you to do? First, if possible, make sure that you speak with everyone before you tell them what role they will perform. When you come in here and you realize you have to be the Toastmaster for the meeting, if you see that the agenda does not have any names next to the roles, as the Toastmaster, you go around the room and fill the agenda, possibly before getting here to tell people, okay, you do this, you do that. Because that does 2 things. First, it gives them time to prepare for the role, and next, it helps you stay organized. That is for the Toastmaster. Running the meeting is your responsibility. If there is an emergency, you are in charge. You tell people what to do. If the police walks into the room and they want to take away the leader, you go. That's a huge responsibility, as you can tell. The next role is the Topics Master, or the Table Topics Master. What does the Table Topic Master do? Or what does the Table Topics Master do? He does what Leila did today. And that was an error that the grammarian should keep track of. Okay, I'll get to that. Did Leila do a good job as a Table Topics Master? Yes. Was there room for improvement? Yes. What was she supposed to do as the Table Topics Master? The Table Topics Master is supposed to have different questions to ask the different people that he randomly selects from the audience. For example, if you do have time to have 5 people answer questions, ideally you want to give those 5 people 5 different questions. So when you get to the meeting, that was our counter. When you get to the meeting and you realize that you're the Table Topics Master, what you do, you sit down and then you draft questions. Between 5 and 10 different questions based on the theme of the day. My speech, by the way, is 10 to 15 minutes. I'll get to the timer in a second. Table Topics Master. That's what you do. Prepare your questions before you even get here to ask the questions. And when you select people to answer your questions, Number one, don't pick on any speaker unless you've selected everyone else and then there's no one else and you still have time. Because the speakers are supposed to concentrate on what is coming up. That is a prepared presentation to make an impact with your message. Second rule, when you're the table topics master, don't speak on guests until you've had at least 3 other people who are members answer questions. And I believe that is the reason why Charles decided to pass. Because he didn't know exactly. He had not seen enough for him to give an answer that was going to be satisfactory. Not to us, but to himself. Table topic master. That's what it is. Next is the speakers. This is one rule that every single speaker, when you are selected as a speaker or when you decide to be a speaker, the best thing you can do, first for your audience, because you want to show that you respect, you love them, is to prepare your speech. Prepare your speech. What does it mean? It means use your manual. Use your manual. If you don't have a manual, do what I did. Go to the Toastmasters website, find one of these presentations, and you can present it. Now, I do have a lot of manuals. However, I didn't have enough time to prepare for one of those speeches. So I decided, that was another so. I decided to go with these presentations because they are packaged. And you can easily deliver one of these based on your experience as a Toastmaster. That was for speakers. What's the most important rule for speakers? Prepare and speak from a manual or one of these presentations. Available where? On the Toastmasters website. Let's move on. General evaluator. What does a general evaluator do? He evaluates the evaluators and the overall meeting. In other words, when everything is said and done, when the speakers have spoken, the evaluators have evaluated, what you do, you take over control of the meeting and you give evaluation to the evaluators. Every single rule that, I'm putting people to sleep. People are yawning. Okay. Interesting. What was I?
General.
Thank you. General evaluator. When you are the general evaluator, you evaluate the evaluators. And always give them something to improve on. Always. Otherwise, they don't grow, they don't learn. When someone gets up here to evaluate a speaker and he says, all you did was good, obviously that's not true. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here. I myself, people tell me all the time, you're quite a good speaker. That's true. However, my best is still ahead of me. That's why I keep coming back. Because I'm aiming toward my best, not your best. Your best is different from every other person's best. So go after your best and always seek ways to improve. Because there is always a way to improve. Evaluators, general evaluators, evaluate the evaluators, give them ways to improve, and evaluate the meeting. Tell the audience what we can do to have a better meeting overall. I think, Yuri, that's your role today. If you came in here, you realize that maybe the meeting did not start on time, make that recommendation. That next time, show up a little bit earlier. If you see that chairs are not properly arranged, or people are not greeted in an enthusiastic way, make that recommendation. Speech evaluators. 3 rules for speech evaluators. First, give compliments to the speaker. Second, give compliments. Third, give ways for the speaker to improve. And the best way to do that is to put it in a sandwich. In other words, start with a compliment, give ways to improve, and finish on a compliment. That way the person leaves with a good feeling. That was for speech evaluators. Timer. Timer. If you are the timer, you keep everyone on track, including the Toastmaster. When the Toastmaster says 1 minute of silence, you as a timer start your clock 1 minute. When 1 minute is up, you say time up 1 minute, and then we move on. Otherwise, when the Toastmaster says 1 minute, we can go up to 5 minutes. Why? Because people are busy writing. As the timer, you keep everyone on time, including yourself. You have to make sure that we end on time. You have to keep people on time. Everyone. That's your role as a timer. It's not only to operate your phone or your clock and show the lights. No. You keep this place running on the clock. Grammarian. When you are the grammarian, and this applies to all of us, first, you explain what the word of the day is. And you possibly give an example from your experience. Next, you listen to everything that everybody says, and you write recommendations on things that were said really well, and things that were said not so well, and could be said in a better way. That's what you do as a grammarian. When most people serve as grammarian here, all they do is sit down and relax, and wait for when they are called on to say, okay, we use the word of the day. That's not all that there is to it. Does that make sense? You listen and tell people, okay, you use the past tense instead of the present tense. Or when you said A, B, C, you didn't say it in the right order. You should have said it in a different way. That's for the grammarian. When you are the grammarian, listen and take notes. It's not a passive job, it's an active job. R counter. One of the suggestions that I do have for the R counters is for us to get a little bell. We used to have a clicker to bring it to people's awareness when they use pulse feeders. But we are going to get a bell. Because when you are the R counter, you listen to every single possible pulse feeder, including words that someone repeats, sometimes unconsciously. And you keep track of that and you give a report. If we do have a bell, it's going to bring it to our awareness. And even when you are out there speaking, when you use so, you hear the bell ring in your mind, and it brings it to your awareness. You become more conscious of what you are doing when you speak. What are the roles that we just went through? Toastmaster, table topics master, speakers.
General evaluator.
Why only Yuri? Grammarian. Okay, let's go through one at a time, and then all of you shout one thing that you remember about the rule. What was the first rule?
Toastmasters.
What does the Toastmaster do?
They run the meeting.
Lead the meeting.
Very good. What was the next rule?
Table topics master.
What does he do?
Give questions.
Different questions.
Very good. And remember to prepare for the question before you get there. What was the next rule?
Speaker.
Speaker. What does the speaker do?
Speeches from the manual.
Prepare.
Thank you. Speeches from the manual are very important. What was the next rule?
General evaluator.
And what does he do?
The meeting,
Provide advice.
evaluators,
Evaluate evaluators and point out ways to improve. What was the next rule?
Evaluator.
Evaluators. What do they do?
Make a sandwich.
Okay, that's good enough. What was the next rule?
Timer.
Timer. What does he do? Or what does she do?
track of
They time everything.
Everyone else.
Everything and everyone, including the meeting. What was the next rule?
Grammarian.
They really have to listen to keep track of what people are saying.
Exactly, and take notes.
Yes.
Correct?
Active job.
Very. And the last rule was
Account.
our counter. What does he do? What does he or she do?
this time for fuel.
Lessons, take notes. Right? I believe with this information, our meeting next week is going to be a little bit better than our meeting this week. Thank you all for your attention.